Zoom. Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to the start of Memorial Day. Yes, it is Memorial Day. Can you even believe that? So I hope everybody is still safe, still healthy, and feeling still supported by our practice of yoga. Today our practice is it'll be a vinyasa flow, but I'm going to weave in a lot of mobility for our shoulders and get some opening into our upper back, so within our thoracic part of our spine. We're going to need 2 blocks for sure for our practice today. And if you've not invested in blocks yet, hopefully you've figured out what you can use at home for that. And actually, I really highly recommend you guys kind of getting online and purchasing props for your home practice because it looks like, not just for me personally, but it looks like this will be how we will practice for quite a while until things start to calm down a bit. So with that, I'd like you to start lying down on your backs and place 1 block on each side of your mat, just so that they're accessible for each hand. And your head towards the very back of the mat. You can extend both legs forward for just a moment and maybe just give yourself a nice big extension through your spine, your arms, your legs, really stretch out nice and long. Feel the full space on your mat. And then eventually I'd like you to come down lying on your backs with your knees bent, feet as wide as your mat with the inner knees knocked inward. And then once you're there, you could take a moment just to rest one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, the back of the arms resting gently against your mat. And then just eventually closing your eyes down. So just taking some constructive rest. So just moving along the theme of impermanence, which I talked about last week, I thought to talk about change. And in Yoga Sutra 2.33, it says, when presented with disquieting thoughts or feelings, cultivate an elevated and opposite attitude. And this is called Pratipaksha Bhavana. So I love this sutra because it reminds me that I can change my attitude rather than hoping to change the situation or the people that cause me to be unhappy. It's a key practice that enables us to be more harmonious, balanced, and open-hearted. Pratipaksha is the option of cultivating the attitude of opposite thoughts, feelings, and actions. Whereas bhavana, the Sanskrit word for to be, together they encourage us to reverse our attitude, to learn how to live and embrace a more noble way of being. Daily life has so many frustrations, so many challenges, and even more so during these times. And we hope that our yoga, our practice of meditation, our consciousness will begin to bloom and ease that. But it's not always that easy. So what Pratipaksha Bhavana is a simple and direct way of keeping our minds calm and our hearts open. How often during the day do you have disquieting thoughts or feelings that disturb your calm? How often does it show up, even in your own home space, where you hear the rustling of your children, or maybe the dinging of your computer telling you have a meeting coming up? Then all of a sudden, those thoughts or feelings or sensations start to arise, and then it changes in a way, your mojo. But by cultivating Pratipaksha Bhavana, you have that ability. You have the awareness to shift all those unfavorable attitudes before they manifest in any words or actions. And we have that power to reverse them. So when you feel fear, cultivate courage. When there's anger, cultivate love. And it's more than just simply substituting the word. But can you substitute and reverse the whole scene or action. And like always, I share this with you because these are tools we can utilize to find our best self and to work our best selves into our world. Take that to heart as we begin to breathe a little bit deeper within our bodies now. Simple shift, a simple change. Now reach both arms towards the sky. And as you exhale, simply cross one arm over the other. Nice, easy hug. No need to actively reach towards your shoulder blades. Let your fingers just simply drape. Feel as your breath is getting deeper and more expansive, how your chest can push up against your arm bones. Every exhale, feel the weight of the arms melt the torso closer towards your mat. Then inhale, reach both arms back to the sky, and we'll just simply switch out the cross. Again, arms heavy, fingers really loose. But the breath is still deep, and actually using your arms as feedback as you feel the chest rise against the arm bones. The arms feel heavier as you ground further against your space. Inhale, reach both arms towards the sky, then lift the feet off the mat, pull the knees in, hands to the knees or the shins as you squeeze your thighs closer towards your chest and your belly. And then just simply rock, maybe right to left, even side to side, or even circle out to the knees a bit. And then just simply set your left foot flat to the mat, cross your right ankle over the knee. Number 4, go ahead and lift the shape of the legs, but pause right there and take both hands behind the head, elbows out wide to the side, keeping the back of the arms, the elbows, and the back of the head to the mat. And then just using the strength of your legs to do what your arms normally do. So feel your left leg draw in closer towards you, and then using the muscles of your right leg, press the right leg away from you. Kira's just licking my head right now. All right, Kira. Take one more breath. And then simply release and just switch that out. Left ankle over the right thigh. Number 4, out your legs. Again, without the use of your arms. Feel like you can extend the sit bones further away from your shoulder heads. So you feel nice and long through the lower hemisphere of your body. Again, active through the legs. You can feel how that left ankle is really digging against that right thigh bone as the right thigh is pressing back against it in opposition. One more breath. Release that, bring both knees into the chest, extend the arms out wide to the side, and just simply drop your knees over to the right. Nice, easy spinal twist. And when the knees fall right, let's turn our chin to the left for just a moment and just enjoy the rotation here. Feel the left top rim of your pelvis start to extend further away from your left armpit to feel some space. Now keep the knees where they are, but I want you to turn your head over to your right arm now this time. Place your left fingertips to the left shoulder head. And then go ahead and just circle out that left arm bone. So you'll have to lift the left shoulder blade off the mat to make this action happen, but you're just kind of circling around in through that shoulder socket in one direction and then the other direction. And don't be surprised if you feel a little click or you hear something going on. Right? Just find a little bit more space there. And then go ahead and extend the left arm straight again, but keep your gaze to the right. And now really reach out to your left fingertips and even feel the left outer part of that left collarbone reaching out into its direction all the way to the hand. Nice. From here, take it all back to center and we'll drop our knees now to the left for a nice easy spinal twist. And this time our gaze will turn to the right, or we'll keep it to the right really. And just enjoying the rotation through the spine. Now just turn your head to your left arm now. Place your right fingertips to your right shoulder head and then circle around into that right shoulder socket. And then just explore it. Feel what's going on in there. Again, just knowing that we're going to move into this area of our body. So if it's tender for you today, just ease into it. Notice where you need to back off or maybe not even do. Go ahead and extend that arm straight again. Keep your gaze to the left and then really reach out nice and long from the outer tip of that right collarbone all the way to your right fingertips. So you get a little stretching through your neck. And then we'll take it back to center, set both feet flat to the mat. And then your block to the right, I want you to go ahead and place the block into your right palm where the block is flat, right? And the fingers are free. And then let that arm just rest alongside your body for just a moment. So it's like you're holding a tray in your hand. Then from here, just place your left arm. You can even brace your rib cage and your belly. And this is a great way just to kind of keep that area grounded when we start to move here. So when you inhale, bring that right arm up and flex at your wrists. Your fingertips are facing forward towards your toes, towards the front of your mat. Notice right away when you do so, the right shoulder head probably came off the mat or the right shoulder blade came off the mat. So see you can ground the shoulder blade. Notice here the left arm that's bracing your belly and your rib cage. If your ribs have kind of poked upward, use that as a way to keep it grounded. Now from here, I want you to now turn your hands so the fingertips will face right behind you. The wrist is still flexed. Go ahead now and extend the arm alongside the ear. Release the flexion at the wrist so you're holding that tray in your hands without dropping through the block. Notice happen in your rib cage. You can use that left arm as a way to brace the ribs in, to pull the belly in. Then extend the arm back up overhead. Turn the fingertips forward, and then we lower that arm to hover right alongside our body. Let's try that again. Inhale, bring the arm up, flex at the wrist, fingers forward. Turn the hand, fingers back. Exhale, reach the arm right behind you. Release the flexion at the wrist. Inhale, bring the arm back up, flex at the wrist. Turn your hand to fingertips turn forward, and then lower the arm alongside your body. One more time like that. Lift the arm up, flex at the wrist. Turn the fingers to face behind you. Reach the arm alongside the ear. Release the flexion at the wrist. Bring the arm back overhead. Now simply pause from here. From here, we'll practice retraction and protraction of our shoulder blade. So push the block up towards the sky. Feel how your right shoulder blade came off the mat? That's protraction. Now retract and drop the head of the right shoulder back against the mat. Feel your shoulder blade ground. Then push the block up and then go ahead and drop the shoulder head down. Again, push and retract. Keep the shoulder blade grounded. Now turn your fingertips all the way to the right as far as you can. And then turn the fingertips all the way over to the left as far as you can. Again, turn the fingertips to the right, all the way. Maybe fingertips are facing forward again. And then all the way to the left. Explore how far it can go and then hold there so you're creating internal rotation at your shoulder. Fingertips might be on a diagonal. Maybe you're a little bit more open. The fingertips are looking all the way over towards, let's see, north never eats west. All right, from here, turn the fingertips all the way forward and then go ahead and lower that arm slowly back downward to the mat. Nicely done. If you're using one block, switch the block into your left hand. Otherwise, grab that block on your left side. Do the same thing for the left. So palming the block, no fingertips here. Let the fingers feel free, even no thumb. Use your right arm if you'd like to brace your belly, brace your torso, and then go ahead and lift the arm up, pause. Now I notice right here, I probably have to adjust my hand on that block, and I feel just a little kind of a weakness today in my left arm. So again, as you're flexed to the wrist, feel that you feel your left shoulder blade still grounded against the mat. Now go ahead and turn your hands so the fingertips will face behind you. And then as you reach the arm alongside the ear, release the flexion at your wrist. Notice what happened with your rib cage. And use that right arm as a way to keep it front ribs down toward your back ribs. Bring the arm back up overhead. Turn your fingertips to face forward and then lower the arm alongside the body to hover. Again, inhale, bring the arm up, fingertips facing forward, firm flex at the wrist. Turn the fingertips to face back and then extend the arm alongside your ear. Release the flexion. Go ahead and reach the arm up. Turn the fingertips forward, lower that arm alongside your body. Last round here. Go ahead and bring the arm up. Turn the fingertips back. Reach the arm alongside your ear. Bring the arm back up and now pause. Here's protraction, retraction. Push the block firmly towards the sky. Feel the shoulder blade peel off your mat. And now plug the left shoulder head down against the mat. And then push. And then drop. Push. And then drop. From here, turn your fingertips all the way to the left. Maybe they face all the way forward again. And then rotate the hands so the fingertips face all the way towards the right. Now look at that. I notice a big difference in my left arm. Turn the fingertips all the way left. Turn the fingertips all the way right. Go ahead and one more time. Go ahead and turn the fingertips all the way to the front. And then now as we turn the fingertips all the way to the left, go ahead and pause there. Keep the fingertips pointing towards the right as you create an internal rotation at left shoulder. Now go ahead and turn the hands so the fingertips face all the way forward, and then we'll lower the arm all the way down into the mat. Nicely done. Set the block to the side, hug your knees in towards your chest, and then just simply rock up to seated. Place the blocks more towards the top of your mat. We'll need them later on. But then as you're seated, I'll face you. Find any seat of choice, crossed at the legs or on your shins, you choose. But then from here, go ahead and bring your palms together, inner wrists, inner forearms, and inner elbows. Really connect them as much as you can. Notice, if you're like me, I have a tight shoulder, right shoulder, so my right shoulder wants to hike up, so you can drop the shoulder heads down and away from your ears. Now keep your palms together, the heels of the hands together. Go ahead and lower the hands down towards prayer, but then lower the wrist to line up with your elbows and firmly push the palms in towards each other. Now go ahead and squeeze it back in, connect the inner elbows and elbows, and then open up the palms like a fountain. Go ahead and bring the palms back to prayer all the way down to the heart for firm flex at the wrists. And again, squeeze the inner elbows together and then open up through the palms. One more like that. Palms come together, drop the hands back down towards prayer. Squeeze the inner elbows towards each other, open the palms like a fountain. From here, go ahead and connect the palms again, but then press the outer elbows, outer wrists forward, away from the chest as much as you can. You should feel your shoulder blades really widen on your back body. And if you're doing it enough, like me, I can feel my arms shaking just a bit. Now open the arms like cactus arms, and then eagle wrap your right arm over your left arm. Once you eagle wrap, you know you can have that option to give yourself a bear hug, much like we did on our back, but this time actively reaching for your shoulder blades. Otherwise, find the full wrap of the arm bones. Then drop the elbows down towards your chest and then lift the head up and back. Gaze to the sky, open your mouth, stretch out your jaw a few times, maybe stick your tongue out and say, ah. Keep the eagle arms, bring the head and the arms back to center. As you slide the arms to the left, look over your right shoulder. So now you're stretching out that right deltoid. Go ahead and bring the arms back to center. And then from here, when you release the arms, go ahead and reach the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, place your left hand to the outside of your right leg, sweep your right arm right behind you. And like we did on our back, bring one hand behind your head. And then see if you can actually reach out from the elbow a little bit further. Then as you feel you reached out as far as you can from the point of your elbow, extend the elbow straight again, and then feel the outer tip of that right collarbone reach towards your fingertips even further. Sweep that right arm up and overhead, cross at your arms, both hands reach for the knees, and then curl it and round through the spine. Maybe even lift the legs up if you're in that cross-legged seated position. Lower the legs if they were lifted. Go ahead and release the cross of your arms. Bring them back together, palms together, heel the hands, and the elbows connect. Once again, drop the hands down towards prayer. Flex at the wrists. Keep the wrists in line with the elbows. And then squeeze the inner elbows towards each other as you open up the palms like a fountain. One more like that. Palms in prayer. Drop the wrists downward towards your elbows. Squeeze the inner elbows in, open the arms like open the fingers like a fountain. From here, close up to the hands, and now this time I want you to face the palms towards you. So now the pinkies are facing, or rather the pinkies are touching. And do the same action. Press the elbows, the back of your hands, away from your face and your chest. Nice. Open up those arms, cactus wrap your cactus, and then eagle out your right arm over your left arm. I'm tongue-tied today. As you're eagled out, again, press your elbows away from the chest and then drop them down towards the chest as you lift the head up and back. And again, another opportunity to maybe open your mouth, stretch out your jaw, stick the tongue out, maybe let out a good scream if you need it today. Take it all back to center, and we'll slide our arms all the way to the right as you look over your left shoulder. Notice if your torso twisted along with it, so you can keep your chest still facing forward. There you go. Bring the arms back in through the center line, and then when you release the arms, sweep them overhead on an inhale. Exhale, right hand to the leg, but reach your left arm straight behind you. Then bring your hand to the head of the shoulder and then reach out from the elbow point. Notice the difference, right? So we use the hand typically behind our back as leverage, but I really want you to kind of feel what you use in your obliques to create rotation. And now extend that arm straighter and again, reach from the outer tip of that left collarbone to your fingertips. Next, inhale, sweep the arm up and forward, cross the arms as you grip for the front of your knees, and again, round up through your spine. This time, even noticing as we cross the arms, there's more internal rotation at our shoulders. Nicely done. Release that, and then come onto your hands and knees for tabletop. Once you set into table, shoulders over the wrist creases, knees underneath the hips at hip width. Start to move through cat-cow here on your own. Now just creating flexion and extension through the spine. Maybe if you need a little bit more, some swagging of the tail, sweeping of the hips, moving your head from side to side. Go ahead and just kind of explore and let it be. Next round, we'll just simply pause within a neutral spine. From here, reach your right arm forward and then extend it up, back behind you. Turn the hand so when the hand lands back, the fingertips are facing your right knee. Let's do the left arm. Reach the left arm forward, up, back behind you. Turn the hand, fingertips facing your left knee. Reach the right arm back, up and forward. Turn the hand so the fingertips face forward. Reach your left arm back, up and forward. Turn the fingertips so they face forward. Right arm, reach it forward, up and back. Turn the hand, fingertips point toward your knee. Left arm, reach it forward, up and back. Fingertips to the knee. Right arm, reach it back, up and forward, fingertips forward. Left arm, reach it back, up and forward, fingertips forward. Beautiful. Walk each hand forward, half a handprint. Curl the toes under, lift your knees and your hips, come into downward dog. Walk out your legs a few times, pedal through one side, the other side, sway through your hips. Then from here, walk each hand towards your feet, maybe about a full handprint back. Walk your feet out just a little wider than your own hip width distance. Keep your left hand to the mat, thread your right arm through to reach either for your calf, maybe down to your ankle or the foot. And then bend your right elbow as much as you can as you start to rotate your torso towards the left, maybe even trying to fix the gaze to the sky. And then release that. Right hand comes to the mat. So now that left arm will thread through to reach for the outside of your right leg, the calf, the ankle, or the foot. A little bend in that elbow helps you to find a bit rotation as you try to fix the gaze up. Beautiful. Slowly release that. Walk each hand forward. Glide or walk your feet back into its traditional stance of down dog. From here, go ahead and inhale, slide it forward to a plank pose. Stack the shoulders over the wrists. Feel that your heels are stacked over the ball mounts of your toes. Knit your bottom ribs towards your top of the pelvis so you can feel like you're really braced into your core as your tailbone reaches towards the space in between your heels. Then lift the hips up and back for a downward facing dog once again. Try that again. Inhale, glide forward to plank pose. Stop when your shoulder heads are right over your wrist creases. And then exhale, lift the hips up and back. Beautiful. From here, inhale, glide forward to a plank pose. This time, drop the knees underneath the hips. Take one of your blocks and place it on your mat so the shorter edges are facing out and it's at that lowest level. Create fists in your hands and then turn the wrists up towards the sky as you lower the forearms to the mat. Use your outer wrists and the upper part here of your wrists to brace that block. Fists are in our hands and our fingers are facing the sky. Yeah? From here, so you can set the seat as far back as you can to your heels like child's pose. Then from here, we're going to go ahead and squeeze the block with our outer fists and our outer forearms, and then see if you can drop the head to bring that block above your head. And then lower the block back down to the mat. Shift your shoulder heads forward past your elbow creases, so maybe your nose is past the block. Then shift your hips back, squeeze the block, and then lift the block off the mat. Bend the elbows to take the block behind your head. Lower the block back down, lift the hips up, shift your shoulder heads past the wrists. Shift it back. Last one here. Lift the block up, bend at the elbows so you can hold right here. Then go ahead and straighten out through the arms, set the block off to the side, and then lower your whole body down to the mat. Once you're here, take each block, and if you don't have two blocks, you can do this even without blocks. So I place each block just outside of your mat, and then cactus your arms on top of it, palms facing down. All right. Elbows are on the blocks. Once again, create fists in your hands, and this is just a great way so you don't flex at your wrists. You want to keep your forearms in line with the back of your hand. So go ahead and now push against your elbows, and then so you can lift the back of the hands to look towards your toes. This is external rotation at the shoulders. So notice what your head is doing. I want you to gaze down to the mat so you keep the back of the neck in line with your spine as much as you can. Now go ahead and lower the arms back down, and then try that again. Go ahead and press against the elbows, lift those fists up with them flexing at your wrists. I just noticed my left wrist was flexed, so you can keep both wrists in extension. Yes. Go ahead and lower that. Last one here. Lift the arm bones up and then lower. Beautifully done. From here, take your hands now behind your back, interlace your fingers. Use your next inhale, extend those arms straight, lift the shoulders, lift those legs too. Bound locust pose. And exhale, slowly release. Place your hands right by your low ribs so you have a sense that your elbows are in line with your wrists. And then inhale, come into Cobra pose. Drag the hands back, elbows point back, collarbones nice and wide. And then articulate the spine as you lower your low ribs, your chest, your chin, and your forehead back down. Last one like that. Drag the hands back, move the torso forward and up on an inhale, Cobra. Traction out as you exhale to lower. Toes touch, knees back, or hips back rather, child's pose just for a moment. Pull the low belly in and up, get this nice stretch in your low back. And then exhale, downward facing dog, lift the hips up and back. From here, take a walk forward to the very top of your mat. Come into a standing forward fold. Separate the feet at sit bones distance. So maybe line two fists in between the feet to figure out your stance. And then reach for opposite elbows. Just simply dangle here. No tension in the shoulders. Let them drop towards their mat. Soft bend into the knees. And even as the knees are bent, think about the sit bones lifting up towards the sky as much as you can. You'll notice your pelvis start to tip forward a bit more. Go ahead and just simply switch up the cross of your elbows. Still heavy through the arms, soft in your face. Then bring both hands to your hips. Push down against your feet. Inhale, slowly rise up to a stand. Exhale, toe heel the feet closer as your arms rest alongside your body, eyes closed, or even a soft gaze forward. And just take a moment for yourself as we add just a little bit more movement in our practice, just to set your sankalpa of your practice today. See where you can tap in Praktipaksha Bhavana, the ability to just switch, to change, cultivate that opposite and elevated attitude. Start here on your mat and let it show forth when you're off your mat. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, circle the arms out and up, look up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward down into your legs. Inhale, look up, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Palms flat, feet back, whether you step or if you want to hop it back and lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Cobra or upward facing dog will be your back bend as you open up your chest and then lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Really spread your fingers really wide onto your mat. Feel the inner L shape of each hand, the pointer finger and the thumb really anchored down and push forward. From that, wrap your triceps inward towards your cheeks and your ears so you feel how your shoulder blades can lie flat on the back. And from that opening, allow the neck to lengthen further from the tops of the shoulders, from the weightiness of your head. Then empty out and exhale. Inhale, lift the heels, look to the hands, walk, step, or hop forward to your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen, collarbones wide. Exhale, fold against the legs. Push to stand, reach the arms, lift the gaze, see the palms connect at the top. And then exhale, we guide it back downward towards our heart, Samastitihi. Again, inhale, arms reach, gaze lifts. Exhale, fold it forward into your legs. Inhale, lift up halfway. Palms flat, send your feet back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Rock the shoulders forward, past the wrists when you lower. And then as you inhale, bottom tips of the shoulder blades move forward. Core is strong as you exhale to lift the hips to a downward facing dog. Feel how your front body, the front ribs, knit towards your back body to feel more extension through your spine as if it were a crescendo, right? From the tailbone all the way to the crown of your head. Then empty out your next exhale. Inhale, lift the heels, bend at your knees, walk, step, or hop towards your hands. Inhale, look up, get light. Fold it forward as you exhale. Push to stand. Inhale, reach the arms, lift the gaze, palms connect at the top. And as you exhale, slide your hands down towards your heart. One more. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale and fold. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Palms flat, whether you step or hop back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, widen out your collarbones. Pull the low belly in and up, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Inhale, lift your right leg up in the air. Exhale, bend at that knee, stack up the hips, and then feel free to either stay static or twirl around into your right hip socket, circle at your knee, move around your toes. Next, inhale, straighten through the legs, steer your left hip crease back so you feel long through both sides of the body. Come high into the ball of the left foot and exhale, hug your right knee into the chest and scoop out your front belly as you push your arms firmly against the mat. Step that foot forward to the very top, come to a lunge, tent out your fingertips, and just tap the back knee down to the mat and lift the chest up. So feel like you're zipping up from the tailbone all the way to your chest. Then pick up the back knee, long pyramid pose. Either keep the front foot flat or roll to the heel. Then we're just going to move through those two. Lunge back into it, tap the back knee now down, inhale, peel the chest up. Exhale, straighten through that front leg as much as it's available to you. Again, lunge and tap the back knee, inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, straighten through that front leg. Now hold right here. You choose if you want to keep the long stance. If you prefer the shorter stance, go for it. Again, the front foot can remain flat or maybe you're on the heel. Maybe reach the arms a little further forward or even grip the edges of your mat. Let's go ahead and now lunge back into the front knee and we'll lower the left knee down and uncurl the toes to now come into Anjaneyasana Low Lunge. So go ahead and rock the hips and the torso back so it's directly over your back knee and then lift the front rim of the pelvis upward towards your chest. Bend just your left elbow above your head, right hand for the elbow, and then think of extension rather than the side bend right now. So as you're reaching and lifting from the point of the elbow, feel it pull away from your left hip point. Now take both hands behind the head, elbows out nice and wide, and as you exhale, add a side bend this way. And you'll notice here that it doesn't feel as extensive as we're used to when we're extending through the arm. So imagine that it can only come from your elbow point. Keep the arms the same as you inhale back to center. Exhale, twist now towards your right. Place your left hand outside of your right outer knee. And just like we did seated here, open up and widen through the chest from the elbow as much as you can. And then extend that right arm straight out and let the right collarbone reach to your fingertips. Inhale, reach that arm up and overhead as you bring both hands to the mat and now straighten through your front leg. Come into Ardha Hanuman, half split. So once you're here, explore it if you'd like. Roll to the inner heel, the outer heel. Maybe just simply stay upright or hinge a little closer towards your leg. Feel what's going on into your back leg. So you can press the top of the foot firmly against the mat so it creates less weight against your knee. Next, inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, place your right foot flat and toe heel the foot a little wide to the side. Bring your right hand to the inside of your right thigh and nudge that leg a little away from you so you open up through the right hip. Now, as you release, keep the leg where it is. Place your right hand back inside of your right foot. Lift the back knee off the ground and step forward to the top in a wide stance. Turn the toes forward. Slide your hands up to your thighs with the knees bent. And as you push against your thighs, inhale, come into a cow tilt in your spine. Exhale, cat tilt the spine. So scoop out the belly, tuck the tail, chin to your throat. Inhale, cow tilt it out. Exhale, cat tilt. Inhale, push the stance, straighten the legs, bring both arms overhead, right hand for the left wrist. Exhale, side stretch over towards your right. Inhale through the center, switch your grip. Exhale, lean it left. Inhale through the center. Exhale, take an interlace right behind your back, Yoga Mudra. Inhale, extend the arms a bit straighter. As you exhale, soft bend in the knees as you drape down in between both legs. Let the fists start to drip up and overhead as the crown of the head extends down towards your mat. Peel the heads of the shoulders away from the ears so there's less tension in through your neck. Place the interlaced hands against your low back first. Then release the hands as they simply drip down the back of both legs. Toe heel the feet together so they come to touch, and use an inhale to lift and lengthen for monkey pose. Palms to the mat, feet back your way, Chaturanga Dandasana, or maybe going straight into a downward facing dog. Then once in your downward dog, let's lift the left leg back and up. Then at that knee, stack up hips, and again, explore this left side. Twirl around into the hip socket, hinge at your knee, and circle your ankle and spread your toes. Then straighten through the legs, square the hips, so feel your right hip crease extend back away from your right pinky. Come to the ball mount of your right foot. Exhale, hug your knee into the chest, shoulders past the wrists as much as you can. And then step the foot gently to the top. Tent out those fingertips as we tap the back knee down, and use an inhale, lift that chest up. Exhale, pick up that back knee to straighten out through both legs. And again, just a little back and forth movement, moving dynamically with the breath. Inhale to lift the chest, using the exhale to straighten out through both legs. How about we do one more? Inhale. This time, exhale, hold it. Shorter stance, stick with the long stance, front foot flat, maybe roll to the heel. Any arm variation, reaching them forward, reaching them back, holding your mat, all up to you. Last breath. Go ahead now and lunge into your front knee as we lower the back knee down and release the toes. Inhale, lift the chest up. Go ahead and rock the pelvis back to stack over your back knee. Then we bend just the right elbow above the head, right hand for the elbow. And again, think of extension. Notice right away you want to turn this into a back bend so you can knit your front ribs in, really bracing through the core as you're lifting away from the pelvis. Then place both hands behind the head, elbows wide, and as you exhale, rotate to face left. Once you do so, place your right hand to the outside of your left knee. Use that as a way to apply a little bit more of that leverage to rotate. But then that left elbow is reaching as far back as it can. Then extend the arms straighter as that left collarbone reaches to the fingertips. Inhale, sweep the arm up and overhead as you bring both hands to the mat. Straighten the left leg out. Ardha Hanuman half split. Get another way here to maybe roll inner heel, outer heel. Point or even flex, or just stay here and hang out. Nice, Bala. Good to see you here, Bala. Yeah, lunge into that knee, toe heel the foot out towards the side. Place your hand inside that thigh once again, and then nudge it away from you. Let your pelvis just sink down and forward. Nice. Both hands, left hand rather, comes down to the mat. Step forward, wider than your right hand. Toes will point forward. Bend at your knees. Again, hands come to your thigh bones. Push and inhale. Cow tilt to your spine. Cow tilt your spine. Exhale, curl out and round, scooping out from your front body. And then inhale again. Open up through the chest. Widen your collarbones. Cat tilt it out as you exhale. Push to stand on the next inhale, arms sweep overhead, and the left hand will grab the right wrist. Exhale, let's lean it left. Inhale through the center, switch your grip, and exhale, we'll lean it right. Inhale through the center, exhale, lace the hands behind your back, cross the opposite thumb on top. Inhale, extend the arms, fold forward as you exhale. Once you're down in your fold again, let the fists start to reach up and over. Bend just your right knee, drop your right shoulder to the knee, and peel the chest to look to the left. Come through center as you exhale. Bend the left knee. Inhale. Open your chest to the right. Come through the center as you exhale. Rest the hands to the low back. Create fists in each hand. And then go ahead and pat out from your glutes to the back of your legs, all the way down to your calves. Then release that as you toe heel the feet back to touch and inhale. Look up, lengthen, monkey pose. Palms flat, send your feet back your way. Again, your down dog method, either vinyasa through or straight into a dog. All right. So check to see, you should still have your blocks to the top of your mat. So if they're not there, just make sure they're there. Inhale, lift your right leg up in the air. As you exhale, hug your knee to the chest, step forward. Stay on the ball of the back foot. Grab one of your blocks, bring it forward for just a moment, right at the top of your mat. Now, once you're here, hold the outer edges of your block and lift the block up. So no fingers. Fingers are free. No thumbs. Really palm the block and then squeeze into the block. So you can steer your right hip crease back as you're hugging your right hip into the midline. Now imagine like you actually have your outer arms and outer wrists pushing down against a table. Think of that action and notice how that helps to lift the right side of the belly off your right thigh a bit. Now place the block only into your right hand. Swing both arms behind the back so you can switch the block into your left hand behind you. Keep the block in the left hand, bring both arms forward once again so you can switch the block into your right hand. Bring the block behind you, switch it to your left hand. Bring the arm and the block forward, switch it to your right hand. Bring the block behind you, hold right here. Fix your hands so you're palming the block again. Fingers free, thumbs are free. Squeeze the block, maybe a micro bend in the elbows. Notice what happened in your chest. Can you squeeze your front ribs to your back ribs? One more breath. Keep the block in your right hand. Inhale, bring the block overhead, straighten your front leg out. Oh, that right leg feels good that way. Yeah. So keeping the block overhead, palm the block again. So free out your fingers. Keep the block above you. Wrap your triceps forward. Feel the shoulder blades wide on the back and drop the shoulder heads away from your ears. Notice here, I'm going to stick my butt out a lot. So now there's a big curve of my lumbar. So as you lift the front rim of the pelvis up, maybe even a micro bend in the back knee, so you can turn on the lower abdominals as you try to work the pelvis more neutral. Squeeze in through your inner thighs as you're balancing here. At the same time, I want you to feel like this block weighs 100 pounds. So notice, it'll all change in a moment, but can you be in the moment without kind of cultivating all those opposite thoughts, or the bad thoughts, really? Last breath. Place the block in your right hand. Bend your right knee and exhale, open your arms, twist. Reach out right collarbone towards the block. Inhale, bring the arms overhead, lateral lunge to your left. So turn to your left side of the mat, let bend into your left knee only, hinge from your hips and then offer the block forward, gaze down. Then exhale, lower the block down, lower your seat down to the ground, come into Skandasana. So roll to the heel of the front foot. Once you're here, leave the block as it is, and then option, cross your right arm over your left arm and just bring the hands down, so creating internal rotation at your shoulders, or eagle wrap them out, and then let the arms get heavy. So using gravity here to get a deeper stretch into the shoulders and the upper back area. Nice, guys. Uncross the arms, no matter how you had them. Grab your block that you've got right by you. Lift the hips up to center. Take the block with you as you face forward again for a lunge. Place the block towards the top of the mat at the highest height. Hold the block as you shift for a supported warrior 3. Then adjust the block if you need to. Take it slightly forward so the shoulder heads, the wrists, and the block are aligned with each other. Feel your right hip crease. Drive it back to feel longer through your right side. With your exhale, baby eagle squat. Tap the left knee to your right calf. Shift your weight into your right heel. Maybe there's a lot of weight in that right heel where it feels like it makes sense to now lift that block and reach it forward. Beautiful. From here, lower the block to the mat. Step back, find a runner's lunge. Place a block at its lowest level underneath your left hand in a revolve lunge. Just reach your right arm to the sky. Push your left hand against the block to feel rebounding action, like you're trying to reach up further from your right fingertips. Then as you exhale, lower your right hand down for a moment, pause. Step your right foot back, left hand is still on the block for a moment. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot, stagger the feet, step the left foot forward if you want, or stack them. Hold the block with your left hand, come into side plank, Vashisthasana. Then as you exhale, thread that left arm underneath your right side waist. Inhale, bring the block to the sky. Exhale, thread it underneath your right side waist. Inhale, bring it up. Reach the arm alongside the ear, hold. And then set the block forward as you now release the block to find plank. Your way to down dog. Vinyasa through, or lift the hips up and back. Nicely done. Take a moment, deep breaths in through your nose. Long breath out through the nose. Practice Ujjayi pranayama. Now lift the left leg into the air. Inhale. Exhale, step the foot forward to the top. Runner's lunge. Pause right there. Tent the fingertips. See that the block is there for you. Again, place the block into the heels of your hands, the palms, and then lift the arms up for that leaning lunge. Fingers free, thumbs are free as you're squeezing the palms against the block. Notice the heads of the shoulders want to lift up towards your ears. That's natural because the arms are alongside the ears for elevation. But can you wrap the shoulder blades wider on your back? Again, imagine like your arms are pushing down against a table. Use that action to feel your left low belly lift a little higher. Place the block into your left hand. Circle the arms behind you so you can switch the block into your right hand. Circle the arms forward, bring the block forward to place it in your left hand. Circle the arms right behind you, place the block into your right hand. Circle the arms forward, place it into your left hand. Circle the arms behind you, hold the block, adjust your hands so again, you're palming the block, fingers free. Lift the block a little further away from your glutes. Pull your front ribs into your back ribs. Hover the left side of the pelvis off your left thigh as much as you can. And then inhale, place the block overhead, arms overhead, straighten your left knee out. Ooh, I felt it. All right, again, free up your fingers, free up the thumbs. Micro bend the back knee if you need to, so it helps to lift the front rim of the pelvis upward, tailbone down to the mat. And then just simply holding here, balancing on the ball of the back foot, squeezing through your inner thighs, hugging the outer hips in. Feel the lowest part of your rib cage move towards your back body. So you feel like your upper body is reaching further away from your pelvis. Last moment. Block into your left hand. Open arm twist, exhale. Bend the left knee, widen out your collarbones. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, lateral lunge to your right side. Hold the block as you hinge forward. Biceps with the ears, send your sit bones back. Then place the block to the ground. As you come into transverse Dandasana, roll to the heel of your front foot. And then once you're here, again, cross your left arm over your right arm. Left arm over the right arm, or eagle out that left arm over. Just switching around so you can see me. Arms are heavy, head is relaxed. Then unravel the arms. Take your block with you as you travel forward to the very top of your mat, left foot forward, right leg back. Change the block so it's on the highest height. And as you hold the block, support your warrior three, shift and now lift. And again, adjust the block accordingly so that your shoulders are over the wrists. Feel how strong the back leg is as you're pressing out to the heel and lifting up from your inner thigh. Left hip crease, wrap it back to feel longer with your left side. Then exhale, baby eagle squat. Tap the knee to the calf, hover the back foot, shift your weight to the heel. So much so that if you continue to hold the block, you can reach it forward like it's no big deal. Nice. Release that. Runner's lunge. Bring the block to your mat at its lowest level. Right hand to the block, left arm to the sky. Revolve it here. Exhale, lower the left hand down. Step back into plank pose with your right hand on the block for just a moment. Then side plank, Vashisthasana. Stagger your feet, stack them. Your choice. Hold the block as you reach it up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, thread it underneath your left side. Inhale, bring the block up. Exhale, thread through. Bring the block up, inhale, and then extend it alongside the ear. Hoist the hips a little higher. Flex out through your feet. Bring the block forward, set it to the top, plank pose. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward face. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your hands back toward your feet. Keep the feet set at that sit bones distance. Peace finger grip around the big toes. Padangusthasana. Inhale, get length. Exhale, reach forward and down. So let the head dangle here. Relax your face, separate the teeth in your mouth. If your elbows are bent, try pointing them back behind you rather than out to the side. So keep your shoulder blades wide on your back. And inhale, look up, get length. Exhale, release to slide each hand underneath the soles of your feet. Padangusthasana. Once again, inhale for length. Exhale, fold right in. Getting heavy through the head, soft within the face. Relax the teeth in your mouth, but keep steadiness within your breath. Nice. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, release each hand. Inhale, walk yourself forward to a plank pose. Either down dog or child's pose for 3 breaths. You choose. Down dog or child's pose. Again, noticing in the moments of pause are those moments where, again, you can create that shift. And just knowing that we've made it to our mat today to feel the support of our practice, to feel that sense of community. Whatever gets us through the day. All right, my child's pose people, go ahead and come into downward facing dog where we'll all meet. Then inhale, lift your right leg up in the air. As you exhale, take your right knee to your left tricep and then cross your right ankle over your left thigh above the knee and then push it back into this number 4 position of a down dog. So bend the left knee so it creates a shelf. And just like we did earlier on our back, without the use of our hands, so you can use your legs, the strength of the legs to press your right outer knee towards the back of the room as your hands are pushing down and forward. Go ahead and slide it forward. Step the foot to the top of the mat. Back foot flat for warrior 1, but don't come up because we're taking the block with us. Same thing, palm the block, reach the arms forward, hover for just a moment. So just noticing with both feet flat here, can you anchor further against your left heel? Then use that energy to feel more lengthening to your left side. Go ahead and inhale, lift the chest up, and then place the block on top of your right thigh. So make sure that it's at lowest level, right? So it's flat on the thigh. And now reach and extend a hinge over the block, squeeze it in. Bring both arms right behind you like you're leaning it out. And then roll to the ball of the back foot. Inhale, step forward a little wide like a wide-legged half chair. So there's a block still wedged between our right belly, right rib cage, and the right thigh. Keep it there as you now come to the heel of that right foot. Maybe you float the foot, hover right here, or push firmly against your left leg, lift your right knee up and the arms up. Feel your left thigh. Can you press the left thigh bone back to actually feel like you're sticking your bum back? But what you're doing, you're reestablishing that natural curve in your lumbar. Notice your hip flexors of your right leg working really hard to hold that block in between the leg and your belly and ribs. Now your exhale, come back to that half chair position, set the right foot down, reach both arms behind you. This time the right foot stays, lift the left foot and step it behind option 1, lean out the lunge. Option 3, bent leg warrior 3. So back leg, push out through the heel, lift from your inner thigh, reach and extend from the sternum as your collarbones widen out. Take a huge step back to warrior 2 your legs and then slide your right forearm onto that block. Reach your left arm straight up to the sky for just a moment. So feel here you're pushing down against that block. Lift from that. Turn your left palm to face forward and then reach that arm alongside your ear. Come into this version of side angle this way. Nice, guys. Work on rotating your right rib cage towards the sky without collapsing your front knee. Last breath. When you inhale, come out of the pose, right hand will hold the block, warrior 2. Straighten your front knee, inhale, reverse it. Triangle pose with your block. So pivot and lengthen from the pelvis, adjust the height of the block when it lands to the mat, hand to the block as you reach your left arm to the sky. Notice here again, the tendency when you use a prop is to dump down. So again, use the energetic effect by pushing against the block, widen out the collarbones to each side, each hand, and then knit your front ribs to your back ribs. Feel how strong the back foot can be as you lengthen your front body away from the heel. Turn your top hand to face forward above your head and then extend it alongside the ear as you inhale. These are beautiful, guys. Nice. Hold the block, reverse the warrior. Inhale, rebend the knee, reach the block above your head. Then bend your right elbow, left hand comes behind your back. Think Gomukhasana. Now, depending on your shoulders, maybe you'll find the tip of the block, right? And I'll turn around and you can see, right? Otherwise, if you're tight, one hand is still holding the block, left arm is still behind your back. So notice right away your chest probably faced towards the front left corner of your mat. So seek and square the chest towards the long edge of the mat again. And then let's come into this unsupported version of a side angle pose. Your right inner knee is tractioning forward towards the big toe. Then feel your right sit bone, aim to your back heel, and then using that back heel as a strong foundation as you continue to lean towards your right kneecap. Right hand will continue to hold the block for half moon. I lost the block in my hand. Bring the block forward at any height, then shift and lift. Once you're here, take a look at your standing foot. It likes to rotate. Maybe it's looking left. Can you adjust the foot so it's facing north at 12 o'clock? Once you're here, you choose. Maybe you balance it out more into Chapasana, bend that back leg. Push the foot against a hand so it really opens up that left shoulder head. Maybe you want to flirt with taking your hand off the block. A soft bend in that right knee helps as you take the hand maybe to your heart. Nice job. If you have the foot, let it go gently. Inhale, release the block as you exhale, find a runner's lunge. Step back, plank pose. Lift the hips, down dog, or vinyasa through. All right, back and down dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, left knee to your right tricep. Cross the left ankle over your right thigh. Bend the right knee deeply as you lift the hips up and back for your down dog once again. Again, using the strength of the legs, pressing your left outer knee towards the back of the room, keeping the bend into the right knee for the shelf, and then pushing the ankle against the right thigh bone. Beautiful. Slide forward as you inhale, step the left foot forward as you exhale, back heel grounds. Reach for the block again, hold the outer edges, free up your fingers, and then lean it out. Again, can you feel your left hip crease steering back in space as you're staying firm and grounded against your back foot? Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, place the block against the top of your left thigh. Wedge it in there deeply and then really lift and extend over the block as you lean forward. Pivot on the ball of the back foot, step forward like half chair, feet a little wide, arms swim back behind you. Left foot stays, so you can come to the ball mount of your right foot stays. Come to the ball of the left foot. Stay like so, or push against your right foot, lift the left knee up, bring the arms up. Standing leg, rather than locking out the knee, firm up the quadriceps like you're pushing your thigh bone back. Again, notice how it allowed you to feel more length. Squeeze the block with that left thigh, using the hip flexors of that left leg. With your exhale, come back to that half chair variation. Set the foot down, the arms back. This time, left foot stays. Either step the right foot back into a leaning lunge, or make this a warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3, with that block in between the thigh and your left belly and ribs. Hug your left outer hip into the midline, squeeze out through the glutes of both legs. Exhale, take a big step back. Slide your left forearm onto the block. Come into this version of a side angle pose. We'll take that right arm straight up in the air. Again, with your right arm straight up in the air, your left arm pushing down against the block. So you want to feel that you're a little bit more buoyant in your torso as you're engaging your left obliques. Turn your top hand to face forward and then reach that arm alongside your ear. There you go. So right rib cage, turn it towards the sky. Left rib cage towards the sky. Left inner knee tractioning towards your big toe. Last breath. Inhale, come out of the pose. Your left hand will hold the block. Come into a brief warrior 2. Then reverse it. Reach your block above your head. Straighten your front leg out. Trikonasana triangle pose, taking the block with you. Set the block at a height that works for you on this side. Again, the hand is on the block, but your body is not dumping down. It's feeling that rebounding effect. Feel how the collarbones widen to each side. Front ribs towards the back ribs as your tailbone reaches towards your back heel. Turn your top hand towards the front of your mat and then extend the arm alongside the ear as you inhale. Feel your top rib cage sink closer to the midline as your bottom rib cage lifts up to the midline. Nice. Hold on to the block so we can reverse it. Inhale, rebend your front knee, reach that left arm alongside your ear. Then coming into that Gomukhasana version, bend your top arm to place the block behind you. Bring your right arm behind the back. Maybe you'll find a tip, maybe you won't find it all. But once you're set, notice your torso is rotated, so square it off to the long edge of the mat. Feel your front ribs push against your block behind you. Then tip it on that angle, come into this unsupported version of your side angle pose. Notice your front knee, it wobbles just a bit, so traction the inner knee forward to the big toe. Then aim your right sit bone toward your back heel so the back foot is really working for more foundation. Left hand holds the block, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Reach the block forward and a slight diagonal to the left, and as you shift and lift. Top arm comes to the sky when you're ready. Then check out your standing foot, point the toes to 12 o'clock. Stay here or back to Chapasana, bend your right knee, reach back, catch the front of the foot, or maybe through the ankle. And then kick the foot back to open up more into the front of that right shoulder. Hand on the block, maybe you're flirting with balance on this side, you choose. So strong, yogis. Hi, Sue. Slowly release the foot to half moon. Leave the block where it is as you find runner's lunge. Big step back, both hands to the mat, frame the foot. Exhale, downward facing dog or vinyasa, your choice. All right. Inhale, come forward to plank pose. From plank, forearm plank, lower each forearm down onto the mat. Maybe palms flat, or if you want to interlace here, but reach the crown of the head forward, gaze to the mat rather than to your toes. So you can rock the weight a little further forward so you feel as if you got your heels directly over the ball onto the toes. Knit your front ribs towards your back ribs, bottom rib cage to the pelvis. Really brace up through the core. Hold one more breath. Nice. Sphinx pose. Lower the knees, lower the pelvis down. Once you're set in Sphinx, lift the elbows off the mat, just like seal pose. And then thread your right arm underneath your left arm and cross that left arm over. Walk the hands out in the directions that they're at. And then notice if you're leaning more to your right, so you can actually keep your shoulders square. Curl the toes under, just scoot your whole body, your chest forward to kiss against the arms, and then simply lower the head down. So internal rotation of our shoulders here, widening of our back body, shoulder blades really exposed to the sky. And then so you can take away tension in through your neck, your jaw. One more breath. And lift the head up and figure out which one is your right arm, and you'll just release the right arm to cross over. And then walk those hands out again as far as they will go to each side without tipping to your left this time. If you lost the connection, maybe scoot forward once again, and then lower the head down. So you can feel soft in through the belly, soft even within your glutes. And then inhale, lift the head, slowly unravel the arms. Place your hands flat to the mat just for a moment. I usually cue to scoot over just so that you don't roll onto the studio floor, but you're at home, so hopefully your floor is clean. From here, go ahead and reach your right arm out wide to the side. Keep the hand in line with the head of your shoulder. Key of shoulder stretch. Roll onto your right side. Step your left foot over your right leg. Now, from here, I know people like to grab for that hand. I'm just not a fan of it. I feel like it's effective already. But if that's for you and it's not harmful to your body, you can. I'm not really encouraging it. But what I'd like to encourage, if you feel you can go further, rather than reaching for the hand, maybe bend both knees. Okay? And if that's not quite enough, see if you can actually drop the knees more to the left, or even cross your left leg over your right leg. So that increases the stretch in the front of that right shoulder in through the neck without having to reach back. Again, just options. All right, go ahead and unravel that, roll back onto your belly, exhale. And then we'll take that left arm out to the side, keep your hand in line with the shoulder. Roll to your left sideways, step your right foot over that left leg. Pause there, see what you're feeling. Once again, you have your options to add a bit more, but ease into it. Maybe both knees bend. Maybe both knees fall a bit to the right, or cross your right leg over the left. Nice. From here, simply unravel that, come back onto your belly, shift it back, child's pose. Then wrap the arms just outside of your legs so your hands are right by the feet, back of the hands against the mat. And then go ahead and roll up, sweep both legs forward, and then cross your right ankle over your left knee or thigh. Step onto the sole of your left foot, either seated pigeon or Anjaneyasana double pigeon. So you choose. If you're pretty tight in your hips and you're in the double version and the knees hiked up, I suggest that you actually come into the seated. If you've got just a little bit of clearance, you can use one of your props to place in between the knee and the foot. Double pigeon people, lean your torso forward, reach back, and then spread the glutes wide so you feel the sit bones point behind you. And then start to make your way forward a little bit more. Whether you're in the seated version or the doubled version, let's keep our feet flexed. Soften through your face, relax through your jaw. Let's take one more moment. And then we'll make our way out of the pose, your shape, your way. Straighten your left leg forward. Place your right foot inside your left inner thigh, heel closer to the groin. Janushrasana A. Adjust your pelvis so you feel that your pelvis is squared forward to the top of your mat. Let's get into it with the lower right side of our back. So reach just your right arm to the sky and extend and lengthen out diagonally. Hold the ankle or the foot as you roll your right rib cage towards the left inner leg line. Squeeze the glutes of just your right leg, so you can try that. So it helps to actually stabilize the pelvis. Then inhale, lift the head. Exhale, come out of the pose. Step onto the sole of your right foot. Coming into a twist. Option 1, wrap the left arm around the shin, right arm behind the back. Or option 2, tuck the left arm outside the right thigh. This time, hand is behind the back rather than reaching out. Then notice your left straight leg probably reached forward, so you can plug that left femur bone back into the hip socket. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, release the twist and switch out your legs. Right leg forward. Cross your left ankle over the thigh. Again, option 1, seated version of pigeon, or the double version of pigeon. Again, if it feels too tender to come into the deeper version, stick to the one that works best. My double people, again, hinge it forward, reach back, get some glutes out of the way so the sit bones point back. And then start to walk the arms forward, fold it forward. Again, either version, our feet are flexed. I know that a lot of you well, all of us, right? We're in our phases now of just coming back to what we remember. But it's during this time too that we also cultivate Praktipaksha Bhavana, because we're going to see the world come together in so many ways that we're not quite used to. Especially when it comes into this practice of yoga, right? Having to do it through a computer screen might be our method for quite a while. Eating in a restaurant or doing things just as we normally would possibly do, even in a workspace. But rather than letting the negativity of all of those actions come in, it's see if you can have the power to reverse that. Let's slowly make our way out of the pose. We'll go ahead now and straighten out through your right leg. Place your left foot inside the right inner thigh, heel closer to the groin. Again, readjust the pelvis to square forward. Left arm will reach to the sky. Inhale. Then as you exhale, reach out nice and long on a diagonal. Hold the outside of that leg. It's available to you. Feel here that you're reaching and lengthening at the same time the left rib cage rolls to the inner leg line. Then try squeezing out through your left glutes. Notice just that little action probably helped to reestablish the pelvis. Okay, you might notice it, you might not, but great way to just simply observe your body in the smallest and simplest ways. Inhale, lift the head, look up. Exhale, release that and step onto the sole of your left foot. Option 1, again, wrap the arm around the shin, left hand behind the back. Option 2, take that arm all the way around to the outside of the leg. Again, once you're set here, the right leg probably is scooched forward, so plug that right thigh bone back into the hip socket. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, release that. Take the soles of your feet together, knees drop wide. Scoot the feet forward for a bigger diamond shape with your legs. Tadasana. Thread your arms underneath your calves. Nuzzle your torso inside your inner legs. Hands can come flat to the mat or over the feet you choose, but before you fold, press the sit bones and then lengthen your torso forward, and then exhale, fold right in. Last moment. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, unravel each arm. Place the hands outside the knees, close your legs. Maybe take a block with you if you like to practice a supported bridge, but you'll roll down onto your backs with the feet flat, knees bent. And then rather than reaching forward to touch your heels, our bodies are all different and shaped differently. So just get a good sense that your knees are in line with your heels. Then once you're there, bridge pose or supported bridge. I'm going to do supported, so you choose. If you're going to support your bridge like me, any height of the block that works, placing it right at the back of the pelvis. And if you're in bridge pose, actually I'll do bridge for just a moment. I want you, if your hips are up in your bridge pose and your hands are already interlaced, release them for a moment and reach your arms alongside your ears. Turn the palms to the sky just like you had blocks earlier, and then push the back of the hands against the floor behind you as you feel your chest lift up higher. Notice if your knees have started to collapse out, so keep your knees in line with your hip points. Then keep the lift of the chest, and then circle the arms like a half circle alongside your body until now they come behind your back. Feel the shoulder blades connect even further as you now find that more opening in the bridge. Last breath. Nice. Then from here, let's slowly release, slide the arm bones out, articulate the spine back downward to the mat. Bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees drop wide. Once again, Baddha Konasana. Place your hands just to rest on top of the pelvis. And just feel soft through your glutes, through your legs. And then when you release, pull your right knee to the chest, let your left leg reach forward on your mat. Twist it out, left hand for the leg, right arm out to the side, cross the leg over your body. Gaze to the sky or maybe over your right shoulder, or you have that option to look to the other side too, so you get a stretch in your neck. Come in through the center, inhale, switch out through your legs, left knee bends, right leg straight, and twist it. Right hand for the knee, left arm to the side, cross it over, gaze up to the left or even to the right. Coming back into the center, happy baby pose. Ananda Balasana. Hold the back of the thighs, the calves, or the pinky sides of your feet. And as the thighs just drop outside of the rib cage, reach up further from your tailbone. Feel the grounding of the back of the pelvis. Allow your chest to feel expansive, almost like you're in Cobra into your heart. And squeeze both knees into your chest. Maybe even wrap your arms around your shins so you can lift your head and scoop yourself into a tiny little ball. And then slowly unravel that. Reach both legs out. Let both arms drop alongside your body. And take a full deep breath in through your nose. And open your mouth, sigh your breath away. Shavasana. Yoga Sutra 2.33. When presented with disquieting thoughts or feelings, cultivate an opposite and elevated attitude. This is Praktipaksha Bhavana. We may stubbornly hold the belief that others cause our problems and inconveniences. And it's in those situations that we need to appoint ourselves as their teacher to show them the correct way. And we do this by practicing Praktipaksha Bhavana, that direct way of keeping our minds calm and our hearts open. Noticing when those unfavorable attitudes begin to manifest before they become any words or actions. Retaining the power that we have to reverse them. So when there's fear, there's courage. If there's anger, there's love. Let's now breathe deeper in our bodies, inviting movement back. Go ahead and stretch your arms overhead. Bring the legs together, point your toes. And gently pull your knees in towards your chest. Roll to one side of your body as you now push yourself up to come into a seated position of your choice, facing forward. Nice and long within the spine, eyes closed down. And just take a moment to linger in the effects of your practice. Consciously feel your head and your torso lean back, allowing and feeling the support of your practice, the support of our virtual community of yoga. And as your hands join together in Anjali Mudra at your heart, take a moment to reconnect back to your personal intention of your practice. And then seeing how you can weave this intention and the intention of our practice of Praktipaksha Bhavana into our world and into our day. Let's slide our thumbs up towards our third eye center, bowing in to seal the practice we've shared together. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. Love it so much. Zoom people, stick around if you want to talk, chat, and say hi. But enjoy. Have a great, safe weekend, guys.